NEP, when it generally given a guideline for complete, you can say, set procedural for implementation of new education system in India, starting from the primary section to the higher education sector. So obviously, it has resulted one very important challenge in front of agriculture sector to transform the agriculture education as per the new system, which is really very critical and challenging for whole academia. But yes, it has been carried out. Before going for agriculture education, some basic points I will like to forward here regarding the NEP. Um, we know that for particularly higher education system, NEP is having some important key aspects, and these are some very important components. Basically, the multidisciplinary education and flexibility. So this education system has first time brought a wide range of flexibility in the model, as I have seen in the other foreign universities. Uh, in terms of providing greater scope for elective courses, basically, in terms of generic elective, or in terms of ability enhancement courses, or in terms of discipline elective. So this has given a very good opportunity for the students to go through the uh, uh, taking courses, or pursue their interest in the different fields. Means right now this is a situation that engineering student can go for the singing, can go for the music, can go for any kind of courses where he or she is having passion. So, and obviously it is the need of the hour, because ultimate aim for the education is to become a good citizen, and the second thing is to go for the uh, uh, developing a source for livelihood. Basically, not only livelihood, it is a very broader concept right now in terms of all facilities, the standard of living. All these things are associated with the education, whatever we are getting. So, obviously, having this kind of aspect, multidisciplinary and flexibility in terms of credit, this is going to play a very significant role for holistic development of the student. And the second aspect is the credit transfer system, that is ABC, Academic Bank of Credit concept. Really, it is going to be a game changer if it will be implemented properly and carefully, because this is one very important aspect, that uh, quality factor is going to be very important. Although the objective of this concept is to go for to permit the student to go for the earning credit in any of the education sector, or you can say universities from where he or she are interested, with certain restriction. But at the same time, there may be equal chance of malpractices in terms of just passing concept. So there may be some loopholes that needs to be taken care properly. But the concept, the objective is very clear and very positive. Another aspect is the vocational education. Um, I have attended a number of meeting in that has been proposed by ICR workshop particularly, and every time I have heard about one very important thing, to work on the vocational courses other than the BSc and master programs. So, like the you can say, like the other subject matter in agriculture, also the focus is going to be shifted over the vocational education for development of skills. So this is another important area. Research and innovation, as like earlier, it is always a very key aspect of any kind of education system. Ultimately, a higher institution, educational institution has to seek towards the research and innovation. So earlier research concept has been integrated with the innovation aspects. So autonomy and governance. This is another very key aspect. uh, we will discuss in later on that affiliation system, they want to go affiliation system to go away. So it is obviously a way towards giving autonomy to even a small organization who are going to work for the education. So another focused area is teacher training and professional development. So teacher development program, faculty, you can say faculty development program, student development program. This is another important aspect. Technology integration. Obviously, although we are already moving towards the technological integration with the education system, but yes, for major more emphasis at this time under this NEP 2020 is going to accelerate this thing in the education system by adding virtual labs, by adding online courses, by adding you can say digital you can say hub. So these all kind of things are going to bring a dramatic change in the knowledge enhancement and you can say the uh, for accessibility of the information to each and everyone. Internationalization of higher education. This is one very important aspect that has been carried out. Basically, to establish MOUs with the foreign organization, or even providing opportunity to the foreign institutions to or or other governments to establish institution in our country. So the two-way approach under the MOUs or even the faculty exchange or even the student exchange. So these kind of things, if they are being implemented properly, even under the government and private education institution, so it is going to work very well with the development of the students as well as exploring more opportunity abroad. So these are few points which are very important, and obviously these all are planned on the certain principles that I want to go briefly that. Obviously these courses courses based on the human values, ethics, IPR, these all things are being incorporated right now even at all level, and these courses are going to be obviously even uh, I have seen in few organizations the IT students are able to study the courses that are related to the our great leaders like Mahatma Gandhi ji and all these things. So what is that? They are although doing BTech or some engineering courses, but they have got opportunity to go through the courses which is especially based on the Swami Vivekananda, Mahatma Gandhi ji. So what is that? It is going to revive the uh, lost part which was always a fear factor in the current generation, that they may not be focusing over such kind of great leaders of our country. We are not knowing about them. However, the education system of other countries are having much more focus over such kind of great leaders. So I think these understanding all aspects are obviously going to inculcate the respect for the diversity and the all even the local aspects. So obviously it is going to bring a great change in the mind of the human being. And if I will correlate it with the NBA guidelines, and if I will correlate it with the uh, different domains of learning, if we observe that our major focus were over the um, cognitive domains, and these kind of aspects are missing in the greater focus over the cognitive domain. They rarely the universities were focusing over the scholastic part, psychomotor part, and I don't think this kind of attributes will be inculcated in the graduating students if we are not focusing over the scholastic and scholastics and even psychomotor aspects of the learning. So obviously such kind of outcomes are possible if we are going to cover all three domains of the education system, and equity, inclusion, these all are only possible if we are covering all three domains. Similarly, the critical thinking aspects. Why this is very important for in terms of NEP, because it is giving flexibility in terms of the evaluation, in terms of the allocating the assignments, in terms of the giving, you can say, the more focus over the internal assessment, where we can provide flexible opportunity to the students uh, uh, to go for the uh, class assignments or such kind of things. I have observed that when I was taking one course, it was also, although that course is away from my subject, it was the course of technical writing and uh, technical writing course that was a master level. What I have done the change that instead of going through the traditional assignment or related to C, I have given a basket of assignments in terms of working on the review, in terms of going for the seminar, in terms of the winning, you can say, uh, poster presentation award. So I have given weightage for uh, about seven different activities, and I have given seven different activities and with a different weightage, and I have told that every student has to cover only 100%. Means uh, after totaling the seven weightage of these seven activities, it was going to be more than 200. But what was that? Student had choice to pick up only those assignment which he think that he will be able to do properly, and but provided that they must have to aggregate, the aggregate must be up to 100 so that the evaluation can be done in 100. So I have observed a greater involvement, participation of students, and these kind of things are going to bring a good change in the working style of the students, in the even knowledge of the students. So this is what the choice based system, even in the CA part, class assessment part also. So giving case studies, giving, so these all things are going to bring creativity, improved thinking skills, and all these things. So these all are very important principles that are mentioned in new education policies, and obviously it is going to be very fruitful if properly implemented. Brief timeline. Since it was initiated from 21-22 with a small speed, but the target is that 2040 for final and complete operational of these aspects from primary to higher education system. And major key points regarding agriculture is now coming to the extract that can be taken from the NEP and are related to agriculture education system. The first important thing is integration of agricultural education. We know that at master level, at BS, at graduation level, they have developed a certain concept of honors degree with a specialization, with a particular specialization, depending on what the elective basket has been taken by the student in the final year. If same kind of things will be applied here, so what is important that right now, if you will see in the agriculture education, master program of vegetable science, master program of fruit science, master program of floriculture, master program of post harvest, um, uh, I can't say as that it is wrong, but I don't think that how post harvest can be isolated from the food science, how post harvest can be isolated from the vegetable science, how post harvest can be isolated from the floriculture and landscaping, because this is very important and the integral part of this. So why not there should be a common horticultural courses and some specific elective aspects that can be taken for the specialization, whether the student is a specialization in vegetable or a student is a specialization in post harvest management or whatever there is, as per the research problem, as per the elective that has been taken. So it is a point that needs to be taken care. We can integrate agriculture education with not only to the agriculture, but also towards the science subject, IT subjects, humanities subject. Why not? This can be a basket of this the elective component that they can earn as a generic elective, uh, as in line with the NEP guidelines. This is possible. Why it is very important? I thought and I have observed that if you will see that the students of IT are working in agriculture. The student of sciences are working for the agriculture. The student of commerce are working for the agriculture. But still, agricultural students have their made themselves limited to the agriculture. We are unable to knock to the biosciences. We are unable to knock to the IT. We are unable to knock to the humanities. Why not? We should go ahead, and it is only possible if there will be opportunity in the at the curricular formation level for the integration of agricultural education with the all sector of the education system, and this is going to lead to what multidisciplinary kind of approach. So obviously promotion of agriculture universities and colleges is very important because of we know that gross enrollment ratio is very low for the agriculture universities students in field of agriculture, and it is only possible if this kind of a special care will be taken. Skill development and entrepreneurship. Obviously, we know that at the present time, job not only in government sector, but we feel that in private sector also, if agriculture enrollment will be increased, if the students passing out will be more, obviously there will be problem. So if we are not going to timely take care of this entrepreneurship aspect, it is obviously it will be very difficult situation. So we need to take care of proper skill development and entrepreneurship model specifically. Uh, as a private organization, we focus over the placement. We are really concerned about the placement of the our student, but at the same time we have to increase, we are doing that, but we have to increase the focus over entrepreneurship also, so that the students from the organization will not only take the certificate, but along with the certificate they will take their career from here also. So research and innovation, it is like other education system in agriculture, it is very important aspect. And community engagement and outreach. Agriculture without extension is not successful, will never be successful. We must need to take care of this community engagement and outreach, not up to the local but national as well as international level. Digitalization and technology integration with proper guidelines, this is very important. I am we ICR has also given up a very in the current BSMA committee report, they have given opportunity for some of the courses that the student can go for the online courses, and it can be waived off from their regular scheme. So this is possible if we can integrate some more courses, and we it has been planned also in the guidelines of ICR. So obviously we have taken this aspect, and these are some key aspects which can be extracted from the NEP guidelines for the agriculture education system. Coming to the agriculture aspect, when NEP guidelines was released, we know that first, as per my knowledge, the first meeting and interaction was carried out near about December 1st, 2020. And basically, the guideline, this extract has been taken from some digital newspaper with some focus. And basically, Rathore sir was the key person who has given so many points at that time. And it was planned to go for the mm, redesigning of agricultural curricula in synchronization with the national education policy. And For that purpose, if I remember, 16 committee was formulated, although it was in between that, it was not we are unable to get any kind of information related to 16 committee, but recently it has been become more active. And Probably, as per our expectation, it is going to come in within 2 months, and it needs to be implemented for 2024 admission batch. So, new curricula framework, especially for the undergraduate courses. They have developed six-member committee. They have started to provide some suggestions, changing aspects in the curricula up to UG level, PG level. PG BSMA committee new revised guidelines has already floated in 2022. So that has also included, we will discuss later on, that has also included the NEP guidelines. So restructuring of curricula, and it must to provide multiple exit and entry option. Obviously, it can be lethal for some institution. It can be very good for some institution. So it is a great test for the institution if multiple exit and entry will be implemented. But at the same time, Rathore sir has also put forward one very important point, that it is important to have an effective regulatory mechanism to maintain the standard of teaching and research in new educational institution. Because we know that where there is a loophole, what can be possibility, and in agriculture sector itself, there is a agriculture education system itself, there is a number of courses. Um, when I was in my childhood, I heard that agriculture members are master of none, and whatever they have said their statement. And I, but when I have studied agriculture, then I thought, okay, it is true that we are not mastering any of the things. We are having all information, sociology, XYZ, all these things. So such kind of things, if are going to be revised in the new education policy guidelines, obviously some cut short has to be done. So how it is being framed, it will come to us. We will look after this. So for the agricultural education, the following key elements in the draft is being prepared. So following points have been taken care. Benchmarking the blended model of curricular transactions. Blended learning system, it is very common. I think in the private sectors, also in many leading government organizations. But this has not been full-fledged implemented yet. It needs to be taken care much more, because blended learning model has very great scope to increase the accessibility of a very good speakers, a very good academician. So if it will be implemented with the proper, or you can say with the honesty, I think the knowledge will not be restricted to any institutions. The person from one institution will go forward with the developing skills to the other institutions. MOOC courses are available. We are working on that, but still we think that in agriculture sector there is a lesser number of MOOC courses. Either we can see on NPTEL or we can see on SWAM. So many courses are yet to come. Mm. Probably one thing I have heard in any kind of discussion, the major challenges the people has mentioned that it is a practical based course, how it can be converted into digital mode or some kind of things. So yes, it is difficult, but it is not impossible. It can be carried out, and it is the need of this time. Yes, hands-on training in field is needed, no doubt. It is very important, but at the same time, if it is available in form of virtual laboratory to the students, it is going to give a pre-information or prerequisite information to the students, and obviously students are going to learn a lot. So modular approach, adopting the modular approach, either in terms of uh, uh, certificate course, diploma course, honors course, degree course. So depending on the exit and entry, it is going to be defined. Facilitating online videos covering the experimental exercises. So this is what we have discussed in the first point. Demonstrating through a virtual laboratory, extra weightage to the project and activities at farm level for experiential learning, multimedia package, and all these things are very important to take care, because if students are themselves going to be engaged in the project work to develop, suppose that videos, to develop to plan their YouTube channel based on their learning. So I think the student are going to take more interest in the practical activities. They are not only limited themselves to the classroom, but they can do themselves and make their videos. So this is one example what I'm giving to, I'm saying here. But yes, if we will um, develop a good quality of uh, project works, classroom assignment, so that that qualities of work are going to bring engagement of a student at the higher level for uh, better learning. So providing web enabled support to the students. So these all things are going to be, you can say, are more focused towards the digitalization of the education. And obviously this is one step which is going to bring a transformation in agriculture education system. So uh, this is one snapshot of order that has been released by on 25th March 2022. It is basically to announce about the new education or national education policy, based national agricultural education policy, which was the draft report was uh, developed in September, I think September 2021. So for that, this notification came. This is the link, which is totally policy, which is related to a policy matter of national agricultural education policy in the line with the national education policy 2020. And this is a complete documentation, a first stage complete documentation, I can say. And it is quite helpful if we are going to go through this. I think more than 140 pages are there. So if we go through that, a very good information is available in that. Few extract I want to discuss from there itself. Um, Basically, this agriculture education policy, the roadmap has been given. It is giving roadmap for the number of documents which are yet to come. But two documents, as per my knowledge, two documents has already been released. One is BSMA committee report for the master programs, and new model act for the agriculture. So that has released in 2023. So both are having some flavor of national education policy. So there is a focus over the restructuring of agriculture universities under NEP 2020. We will discuss these all things. Academic restructuring. One is the restructuring of university system. The second is restructuring of curricula. And third is the defining role of ICR in regulation of agriculture education. This defining means it is already defined. It is autonomous apex body for agriculture education. But here redefining is the very important, it can be important term, that the roles has been redefined and several layers, verticals have been developed. Overall, four verticals have been developed that we will discuss one by one. And as perceived agriculture education from NEP, so the basic principles that we are going to discuss, how these different aspects of NEP is correlated to the NAEP, and transform vision for the transforming agriculture education, and basically the growth and development of agriculture. One by one, we are going to discuss. And, the first important aspect that is restructuring of agriculture universities. So, major focus has been given over the institutional restructuring with the objective to increase the gross enrollment ratio. This is the main objective. How we are going to increase this ratio, which is very minimal for the agriculture education system. So, for that purpose, they have proposed to transform the agriculture education institution to a multidisciplinary universities, multidisciplinary colleges. So they are going to become a cluster knowledge hubs. And the minimum level that has been fixed is the 3,000 student. That needs to be, means every institution should have minimum this number. Universities must have minimum this number. So they have to expand their mandate from, means we know that mandates of many colleges are only teaching, but here they are going to, means the system is going to make them capable, or they have to make them capable, not to only limited to a teaching but also to the research, and that too in multidisciplinary aspects. So this is what one of the important focused area. And the another thing is that they are going to categorize the institutions under the different categories. Basically, on the basis of postgraduate academic programs, they must be categorized under the research intensive universities. So, this means their thrust must be related to the research and innovation. So this is what needed. We know that many agriculture universities, as agriculture universities, they are confined to certain level. Like some of the institutions are only related to horticulture. There are some related to forestry. There are some related to fisheries. There, but what this proposal want, the proposal state that this single stream agriculture universities need to be converted into the multidisciplinary universities. Means there are so many ways. Either they can expand themselves, there should be a scope for the expansion, or they are going to be merged with the parent university. So what is that? Instead of having single discipline, there should be multidisciplinary aspect. And the third important thing is the elimination of affiliation system in the universities and colleges. Yes, this is, since I have also worked in affiliated colleges of Acharya N.G. Ranga Agricultural University. So I know that what is the limitations of affiliated colleges. It is, in large number in the southern part of our country, and I we know that it is very important to make them self dependent, to make to provide them autonomy, or to provide them, you can say, more support, so that they can be a, a, a good or institution in terms of teaching as well as research, or they should be merged with the parent university. So this is slowly this concept has to be come in focus, particularly for the elimination of this affiliation system. Rather, they are focusing also to convert deemed universities of ICR into the multidisciplinary education and research universities. So this is another point that is in their mind. And these either IRI, VRI, NDRI, or CFA, they all need to be converted into multidisciplinary education system. They need to start graduation. They need to start uh, uh, undergraduate kind of courses, so that the students are going to get more benefit. So uh, their major focus over the research. So the research, those organizations which are having major focus over the research needs to carry forward the teaching aspects also. So obviously greater utilization of resource, the one of the very important objective behind this is the greater utilization of the resources, which is left unutilized. And if teaching will be involved, obviously utilization rate will be high. So overall, gross enrollment ratio, which is the one of the negative point that has been mentioned in the NEP 2020. That has been taken care in the draft and the guidelines. And the target has been finalized that minimum 3,000 students must be with every institutions. And by 2025, 5,000 should be the target. Who are having right now 3,000. Your institutions who are having 3,000 right now should have target 5,000 by 2025 and 10,000 by 2030 and 25,000 by 2040. So this is what the target point. I don't know whether it is possible or not, but yes, a very huge enrollment ratio target. Uh, so it will obviously need a high level of infrastructure development and recruitment also. So moving forward for academic restructuring. So university restructuring, the next is the academic restructuring. Means implementing the 4-year bachelor degree program with certificate and degree and all these things, and choice implementing choice based credit system, integrating entrepreneurship with the academic program. So obviously whatever we have discussed in NEP, that needs to be integrated, and the proper plan has been given for integration of this. The another important aspect is the internationalization of ICR, agriculture university system. So it is very important to look forward for the implementing internationalization through the MOUs, because um, in external exposure, international exposure is equally important for bringing more information related to and modern agriculture aspect. Uh, we have observed that due to lack of um, globalization, we have faced a lot of deficiency, and globalization has resulted in improvement of quality parameter in the all sector of the economy. Education is like same. If it is being internationalized, if we are having some collaboration, if our scheme or our curricula is going to be a side by side a little bit mapped with the international system, so obviously it is going to be advantage for the students to get exposure of knowledge or skill in other countries also. So obviously the document advocated about the need to develop a single window system for international student by each universities. So there must be opportunity for the students to go and learn about the agriculture system that is working in European country, that is working in Israel, that is working in other countries. So obviously it is going to be a very good option for our student. Also focused was given on the student development program, faculty development program, and establishment of National Research Foundation, or redesigning the responsibility of National Research Foundation for the research support system, because this is one area which needs at the present, which needs to be strengthened and associated with the other discipline. Means the research should be multidisciplinary right now also, as sir has told recently today, that AI, implementation of artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, machine learning, and it is not possible if we are not integrating our research system with the IT sector. It is a very sometimes some limitations are there in our system, that okay, this is the student of fruit science has to take minor as a vegetable, minor as a physiology, minor as a breeding, depending on their research. Right? But why not minor as a course from the computer science? Why not minor as a course from the artificial intelligence, machine learning? So it is only possible if the organizations are having such kind of a scope to be a multidisciplinary. Obviously, where the universities where M.Tech or B.Tech courses in agriculture are running, engineering courses are running. Obviously, the student of that universities are having greater opportunity to integrate their research with the engineering aspect. But the institution which are not having such kind of programs, so it is not possible to to bring integration, and that's why the focus is over the shifting toward the multidisciplinary education system, institution, education system, and research as well. The draft has also focused few points that because this draft is guideline for drafting this report is guideline for the drafting sixth dean committee reports for the agriculture education at undergraduate level. So they have given some important points that needs to be taken care while it is being drafted. So what the and first important thing is the certificate course structure areas and course end of course test criteria for entry of certificate and diploma. So because NEP has opened a path that okay, after a certain time period the student can exit, but exit without any test, without any kind of regulation, without any kind of some minimum provision. It is just like a mode of sleeping and waking up any time as and when needed. So this is very important that they have focused. Whether two stream certificate course can be considered, one of those admitted to BSc, and second certificate course designed for those students who will be admitted on different criteria, giving weightage of farming background. So obviously, opening up the scope or providing flexibility in education system uh, is again one of the is going to create one of the very problematic situation that we know that at the present time student even after 12 pass they think that what to do. We know that many students are preparing for NEET after getting unsuccessful result. They are going to do what? Okay, take the agriculture. So if the student and parent are yet to be matured enough to decide the education what they want to do, uh, opening of such kind of window is going to create a multiple kind of problem. So that needs to be taken care properly. So inter-transferability of students from one stream to another after completion of first year to be explored. So this is very equally this is important to be explored that key what kind of challenges will occur and what kind of facilities we can provide to integrate this kind of things. Assessment of type of skill human resource in field of agriculture, allied sector required by different sector to be assessed to get the requirement of various topics, practical exposure, internship, etc. This all are major challenge with those students who are passing out after 1 year, after taking a certificate, or after 2 years, after taking diploma, right? So this exit may lead to a lethal side if it is not being properly taken care. Because after okay, I'm not being able to complete the degree. So after 2 year, I can take diploma and go back. What to do after diploma? This will remain a big question. So these all things needs to be addressed while the mm, you can say dean's committee report has to be prepared. And yes, regulated exit and entry may be taken care so that such kind of situation will not come. What is role of basically ICR in this regulating this agriculture education in context with the new education policy, national education policy 2020? So for that purpose, few points have been mentioned, and we know that in terms of regulatory architecture, they have developed four verticals, and the four at the top level for first vertical is National Higher Education Regulatory Council, establishment of this, and we know that ICR is the apex body for this, and it is under the DARE, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. So this is the apex body which is going to develop the statutory provision for all agriculture education system. So, and NEP 2020 has also considered ICR for this purpose. Basically, they have gone through the multiple kind of accrediting bodies. So they have at apex body in agriculture sector, they have considered ICR as a professional standard setting body for that. And at the parallel same to that, Veterinary Council of India has been for the veterinary education. So under that second vertical is National Accreditation Council. So we know that National Agriculture Education Accreditation Board is there, which is going for taking care of all accreditation aspects. At the third level, Higher Education Grant Council. So obviously this is very important component for funding, with the mandate for funding, and institutions have to develop the plan for their own development, and they can apply for the funding, and this is the level which is going to take care of that. At the fourth level, General Educational Council, the major mandate is the defining the learning outcome or defining the graduate attributes after successful completion of this particular program. So obviously they are going to take care of complete implementation of this new guidelines, and will provide full support in terms of guidelines and funding as well as research ideas. So these all are going to um, give a full support to the agriculture institutions. Another aspect is related to curbing the commercialization of education, because this is one of the very important area which after, once the agriculture education was privatized. So what had happened that it has resulted in mushrooming of institutions to open the agricultural courses, even they are not having sufficient and significant land. So the only one objective is what to commercialize it and to earn. So this is one of the important aspect that has been discussed. And another aspect is related to governance and leadership in the universities. And they have uh, focused over the board of establishment of a board of governance, and they have elaborated the roles and responsibility of the board of governance for every institutions. And um, it has been mentioned, clearly mentioned, that still there are many organizations which are having vacant seat of leadership, especially the vice chancellor post. So it has been clearly mentioned there that this post needs to be filled up on time, and the board of governance has to take care of this all things. So promoting to define to take care of the leadership of the agriculture institutions. Another focus is on the online and digital education, as we have discussed, and the market-based extension linked to technology and practices, means the focus toward the technology transfer and technology yeah, information related to technology to the all stakeholders. So the timelines has also been given in the that guideline, and if we can say that up to 2030 we have to come to implement all aspect including MSc in 1 year program, as per the Dean's Committee guidelines and recommendations. So we can see that key how we are going to work over this, and so that we will be able to achieve the design target, the set target, and to contribute to the uh, vision and mission of Government of India to make India as a Viksit Bharat by 2047. And agriculture education system has to take forward a step to come up uh, with the synchronization with this vision. And I have gone through one of the very important book chapter that has been written by our Honorable DDG, sir, Dr. R.C. Agrawalji, and it is based on the transforming agriculture education for a sustainable future. It's totally based on the uh, new national education policy in agriculture. So it is very good book chapter, and if we are going to go through this, we are getting a very good information. So the BS, what is that? First main important document which is based on the NAP 2020 and BSMA committee, broad subject matter area committee, which is for the postgraduate education in ICR. So they have taken care of few points that show that we are in the compliance with the NEP 2020. So what they have mentioned, it must enable an individual to study one or more specialized area of interest at a deep level. So it is going to open the opportunity for a student to go for not one specialization area, but multiple specialization area as per the need of the research, knowledge, interest. So you can see that it is opening a scope in the sciences, social sciences, art, humanities, language, professional, technical, vocational, almost all components they have taken care. Curricular flexibility is another very important point that they have mentioned. They have quite reduced. I have seen the burden of the teaching learning process. Instead of that, they have focused over the skill aspect. Um, if anyone can see the BSMA committee, all 6 volumes, I will say that keep a very good designed syllabus with different blocks, different units, aim, outcomes. So significant change in this curricula of master if we will compare with the BSMA committee of 2009. So a magnificent change. So it indicates that yes, we are moving in the right direction. So we are really thankful to the committee members of all BSMA committee who has worked hard for this designing this curricula. So obviously another important thing is startup and incubation centers. So in this way, for in this now the ICR is also taking workshop and moving forward for the developing such kind of aspects. And obviously technology development center in frontier areas of research, industrial, academic linkage. So these all things are being taken care, focused in the report. And if we are going to implement BSMA committee report properly, obviously it is great advantage for the master students and PhD students in our discipline. So formative assessment has been focused, but here again, I really the what is that we think that we are thinking a lot, we can do this, but when we are going for the policy framing, uh, we expect more flexibility in sixth dean committee in terms of examination and evaluation system. What is mentioned in the 15 committee, if you can go for the 15 committee for the courses which is having L plus P component, means lecture and practical both together, the weightage, if you will go for the 50% weightage is for end term exam, 30% weightage is for midterm exam, 15% weightage is for the practical ETP, and 5% weightage is for the CAP, continuous assessment based on the practicals. I don't think the 5% weightage of CAP is any kind of proper formative assessment. It is not a continuous formative assessment. Why a student will go for the, why a student will bother for the 5% of marks? If you are going to plan a good kind of assessment, greater involvement, obviously the weightage should be higher side of this thing. So I expect that this flexibility will come in sixth dean committee so that the institution can design a good quality continuous assessment or formative assessment uh, components. And so another important aspects that I have observed in BSMA committee, which is really very very far side long run thought process. what that internship for development of entrepreneurship in agriculture. This component was never expecting in the master level, but this had come into the master level. Clearly mentioned that at any point of time there will not be more than 50% of students who can opt for idea. What is this idea? Actually, they are permitting the students to go for designing their research based on the entrepreneurship under the guidance of industries. This is totally deviating from the normal traditional research system. And 30 credit of that research aspect has been divided into 20 for internship and in-plant training and 10 for the writing of the report. So you can think that how they are providing flexibility to the master student. Instead of going for traditional research, they can go for internship and in-plant training for developing entrepreneurial skills. And this is one of the very important way forward. And as I have observed, advantage of this extracts that I have taken from this committee report is really very good for the development of our students. So thank you all for listening. All points with great patience. Now uh, we can go for discussion.